So in 2020 I read 50 books. I read 50 books in 2020. 12 of them were 5 stars, which I'm very happy about. 12's a great number for 5 stars. We got 14 4-star, 2 4.5 star, 10 3 stars, 8 2 stars, 6 DNFs. I had just a whole thing with NetGalley when it came to DNF in books, and it was really stressful, but we got through it. Here's to a better reading year when it comes to NetGalley. I read one 1-star read, and I don't think I've ever rated a book 1 star in my entire life. Besides that, 25 of the books I read were YA. I love YA. I'm 21 and I still enjoy a good YA book. 16 of the books I read were adult. Fun fact, I got into adult books this year. I branched out from YA and got myself into adult books, and the same with graphic novels. Hadn't read one at all until last year, and I read 4 of them. And then we have 5 middle grade / children's fiction and 4 non-fiction. So they're all my stats. They're not that immaculate or precise because I didn't really have a great way of organising everything I read last year. But I have a spreadsheet for this year, which I'm so excited about. So thank you to Wonder Pages Wonder. I will link it in the description box if anyone's interested in using that. So let's get into all the books I read. I'm just gonna go through this I'm gonna go through this list rather quickly. I'm not really gonna describe what the books are about. I might do that with some of the 5 stars, but other than that, I'm setting this video up to just kind of quickly go through all my reads. So that's yeah, this is so awkward. I feel like I'm talking to strangers, which I am. Like, you're my family, but I don't know who's on the other end of the screen, and I just feel so awkward, but we'll get through it. So the first book I read was actually in June. I didn't start reading till June last year. I have no idea what I was doing before June, but I read All the Places I Cried in Public. I have a review of that on my other channel, which is called Blissful Joy, and it is my spiritual stuff because it linked into the emotional healing work that I was doing, and I gave it 4 stars. And that's by Holly Bourne. Then I read Tweet Cute by Emma Lord. I gave it a 5 stars. I have a review of that on my blog. I really loved it. I think it's her first book ever. So it's a solid for her first book. And then I read the infamous The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren, which I was shocked to find out that this is an author duo because it does read like it's written by one person. So I guess that's just the mind and the power of the best friends, to be honest. Their writing styles are really compatible. I gave this 5 stars. I was kind of shocked to see that not a lot of people did give it 5 stars. Apparently it's just a bit lackluster, and of course it is hate to love. And a lot of people seem to not enjoy that trope. The next book I read was the first book that I ever got accepted, approved for on NetGalley, and it's a graphic novel called My Riot X. I don't really remember too much about it, but I did give it a 3 stars according to my list. I just remember it being about, so it was about like a pro ballerina who gets involved in like a feminist girl band after a riot breaks out, That's all I really remember from it. And then after that one, I read my second ever graphic novel, which is called Cheetah Codes. I've forgotten who it's by, so I'm gonna link most of these in the description box. But how I would describe this, it's very pornographic novel. It is erotica, like straight up porn. I don't know, I was kind of uncomfortable, but I enjoyed it. Phone keeps saying that I haven't got any iCloud storage and I've had to delete a bunch of stuff, so hopefully I can get through this. So moving on, I gave that 3 stars. Then we have You Should See Me in a Crown, which I gave 4 stars. I'm just gonna put pictures up because I did not write authors' names down. I read Dancing the Charleston by Jacqueline Wilson, which is 3 stars. I read Influence by Sarah Shepherd, which it's just come to me today, the finished copy. Really loved it. I gave it a 5-star rating, so I'm going to pick it up at some point in the year again. Then I read The Cheerleaders, which I gave 4 stars. She Represents, which I gave 3 stars. I listened to Vicky Angel on audiobook for a readathon. I think it was the Bratz readathon. And I gave it a 3-star rating. I read A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I gave both of the books, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder and Good Girl Bad Blood, 5 stars. Then I finally read The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. She's now on my radar. I love her. I gave it 5 stars. Sapphic, just all the vibes. Absolutely loved it. And then I read Josh and Hazel, what is it? I've only put Josh and Hazel on my list. It's the Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren, 4 stars. Then I read From Twinkle with Love, which I gave 3 stars. I read Bookish and the Beast by Ashley Poston, which is the 3rd installment in her little like sci-fi Comic-Con fairy tale series, and I gave it 4 stars. It was not my favourite one. Then I finally read Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, and I gave it 4 stars. And then I read I'll Be the One by Lila Lee, which came out last year, and I gave it 5 stars. It was a really feel-good, like, contemporary. Then I read Cinderella is Dead. Now, you will see in my next video, obviously I'm not going to film it today because storage, but in my next video I'm going to be talking about my absolute favourite reads, so you'll find out is it Cinderella is Dead or Evelyn Hugo is my favourite book of 2020. I still haven't decided. I gave it 5 stars. It was absolutely amazing. And then I read Yes, No, Maybe So, and I gave it 4.5 stars. Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, which I gave 4 stars. The Guest List, which thank you to Megan on YouTube, Meg with Books. She's everything. We stan her. I'm 21 and I'm using the word we stan. It doesn't feel comfortable to me, and I don't know why I'm saying it. But I gave that 5 stars. It's amazing, and I was able to get my best friend to read it, and she's not even into kind of like thrillers and stuff. Then on NetGalley, I got approved for Thank You Next. I think I gave that 4 stars. And then I read Beautiful Broken Things, which was a reread for me, and I gave it 4 stars. And then its sequel, which is kind of better than the first one because it's told from Suzanne's point of view, I gave it 4 stars as well. Then I read on Scribd The Diary of Anne Frank, which I'm not gonna rate because I don't feel comfortable rating people's real life stories, and obviously it's so tragic. It's so tragic and so sad. Like, I don't know how I got through that one, but it doesn't get a rating because I'm not one of those people that rates real life people's stories. It feels like gaslighting to me. Now we're on to my DNFs. I DNF'd The Princess Diaries, which there's a vlog, you'll see me DNF it. I don't even want to talk about that one. I also DNF'd Revenge Cake, which I got approved for on NetGalley. I DNF'd Neil Schusterman, I don't know how to pronounce it, but my friend let me borrow her copy and I couldn't do it. It wasn't for me. Then we have My Mum Tracy Beaker by Jacqueline Wilson. I gave that 4 stars. Then I read Liar Liar, which is a non-fiction, and again, I'm not giving it a rating. Then I read Blocked, which I gave 2 stars. Reputation by Sarah Shepherd, which I gave 2 stars. Love Your Life by Sophie Kinsella. Surprisingly, even though she is a UK author and I've known about her for a long time, I only just picked up one of her books and it was her newest one. I really enjoyed it. I love her writing style, I love her characters, and I gave that 4 stars. Then I read Love is a Revolution by Renee Watson, which is coming out. Actually, I think it's already out. It's coming out this month, or it already is out by the time I'm filming this, but I gave it 4.5 stars. I DNF The Fairy Godmother Inc. What was formerly known as Our Little Secret, which turned into The Birthday Weekend. I gave that 1 stars. And then I got approved for a children's book called The Pugly Duckling, which is all about this little pug instead of a duck that turns into a swan. And it was really meaningful, and I think it was great. Like, if I was going to rate children's books, because this is a children's book, I'm not going to rate it, but if I did, I'd rate it a 5-star because of the message. I think it's really important. And then I read Smash It, which obviously had some controversy around it. I gave that 4 stars. Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power, the author of Wilder Girls. I actually gave it 2 stars. The Mask of Mirrors, I gave 2 stars. Stay Home, which was kind of like a thriller that plays homage to the whole COVID pandemic that we're going through, and I decided to DNF it because it was just too soon. The Firekeeper's Daughter, I gave 3 stars. Lava Red, Feather Blue, I gave 2.5 stars. Rent a Boyfriend, I gave 5 stars. Perfect on Paper by Sophie Gonzalez, I gave that 5 stars as well, which I'm really excited for everyone to read it when it comes out in March. I'm going to pick up a copy because it was really good. The Court of Miracles, I gave 5 stars. It was such a emotional roller coaster, and obviously it's very dark because it is a Les Miserables retelling, but it plays on the question of what would happen if the French Revolution failed, and there's all these like guilds and stuff. It's based on Six of Crows as well, so I mean, I really enjoyed it. So then I picked up You Had Me at Hola. So then I DNF'd You Had Me at Hola. I really didn't like it. Then I read People Like Her, which I gave 2 stars. Leave It to Fate, which I gave 2 stars. Talks of the Mist, which I gave 3 stars. Before I Saw You, I gave 2.5 stars. People Like Her, I gave it 1 star. And then Rebel Girls Lead, I didn't give it a rating just because it is non-fiction for children, and it's like, I don't gaslight. So they are all the books that I so yeah, we've come to the end of this video. Those are all the books that I read in 2020. I'm gonna try and make an effort of making more videos this year, so if you do like this wholesome little channel, then please give me a subscribe, join my family, I will love you. I will also link my blog in the description box below because I am way more active on there as a blogger, which is weird because I do prefer to talk to a camera, but I also have a blog. So if you're interested in being part of my little family, you get double me if you follow my blog and me here. I'm gonna go now because I'm making this weird. So bye bye.